PDR Sports Webcast. I'm sports reporter Kevin Morales, and today we have a special guest. Sports editor Travis Hueslet is on vacation, so next to me is Portage Athletic Director Jim Langkamp. And Jim, you're in a very unique position being an athletic director. One of the things that has been heavily discussed this year as far as the fall sports are concerned is with football, there's the WIAA is putting out a proposal for changing the way high school football is, the whole high school football landscape. Instead of having conferences, they're proposing that maybe we go to districts. And I guess for those people out there who maybe don't know about the district proposal, what is it? And I guess what are your thoughts on it?
Well, first of all, to me it's the most drastic change I've been an AD now this is my 16th year. Mm-hmm. This is the most drastic change I've seen come out of the WIAA office. And you're right, what it does is it basically vanishes or wipes clean all the current conferences for varsity football only. And instead what they do is they will order all the schools by enrollment. They'll take the top 64 schools, that'll be Division I, the next 64 Division II, and so on. And so you have 64 team divisions. Then they will further divide those into 8-team districts. So that will replace a conference.
Sure.
Will be put into an 8-team district. And then from there, what the schedule would look like is week 1, you can still schedule whoever you want. That'd be the time where you could, like for us, we'd probably play Baraboo.
Right.
Keep a local rivalry game. Weeks 2 through 7 would be within your district. And then what happens is, based on how you finish within your district, the top 4 teams will make the playoffs, which will start week 9. If you do not make the playoffs, then, so if you're in 5th through 8th place, the WIAA will cross you over, match you up with a team that finished the same standing from a different district.
Sure.
So you still have 9 games. They'll basically all be set for you except for week 1.
Right.
And I guess the other key part to the plan is that they will look at enrollments every 2 years. So obviously in today's landscape, enrollments change. Sure. They go up and go down. And so you'll be locked into this district for 2 years, and then who knows, you may end up in the same one, or maybe you get moved up a division or down a division.
Sure.
So it could change every couple of years.
Now, what were the reasons behind this proposal?
A couple of big ones. First and foremost, realignment statewide is just, WIAA, it's been a never-ending battle.
Right.
It seems like they realign one portion of the state, get that to where they think that they like it and that people are happy, but then there's usually a trickle-down effect, and then a neighboring conference isn't happy. So the other piece of realignment is that a lot of times most communities will say yay or nay to realignment based on what the football conference looks like. So they said, okay, well let's address the real problem then. If football is the driving force behind realignment, then let's just realign football. So that's probably the biggest piece.
Sure.
A couple of other little pieces. First of all, the ending of the season. For some schools, for example, I think Partyville, Poinette, Rio, some of those, their last conference game is on a Thursday night.
Right.
They turn around and play a playoff game Tuesday night, and then play level 2 playoff game on Saturday.
Just what Partyville did this year.
Yeah, so they're playing 3 games in 10 days. That's an awful lot on kids. It is a safety concern about whether we should be playing that many games in that shorter time.
Right.
So the other piece to this proposal then is that everything would just be Fridays only. There'd be no more Tuesday night games, no more Wednesday or Thursday night games. So those are probably the 2 biggest problems that they were looking to correct. I guess the other piece, kind of tied into realignment, is right now with football scheduling, because you have to qualify, it's the only sport you have to qualify for the tournament.
Right.
And because the criteria involves non-conference opponents, first of all, it's hard to find a non-conference game mid-season for those conferences that have to do that. And even if you've got an early season opening, schools will choose to play somebody or not play somebody based on if they think they can win the game.
Sure.
Because again, that might keep you out of the football playoffs if you lost your non-conference game. So nobody wants to take that chance.
Right.
And So again, this would eliminate that because your non-conference game would have no effect
Sure.
on if you make the playoffs or not. So
Right.
hopefully that would ease up some of that and make football scheduling a little easier.
Now, from your point of view as the Portage Athletic Director, and I know you've talked to Portage football coach Dave Schmitz about this, what are your opinions on it, and what has Dave said about it to you?
We're both on the same page. We both support the proposal.
Mm-hmm.
Having been involved with realignment talks each of the last 2 years with the WIAA and the South Central, and we didn't support that move. We didn't want
Right.
to. We feel like the Badger is a better fit for us across all of our programs at freshman level and JV level and so on.
Right.
So again, if this helps keep that realignment talk away and keeps us in the Badger for everything else,
Sure.
I feel like that'd be a great fit for us.
Sure.
And Coach Schmitz, again, he supports it, and I think the thing he likes is that we'd be in a conference with Division III schools, as opposed to currently we've got a couple of Division II schools, and again that's if you're going to qualify for the playoffs,
right.
It's kind of nice to be playing within your division during the season.
Sure. Now let me ask you this too. Obviously, proponents of the plan would mention everything that you just said. Opponents would point to a lot of the big issue has been travel, and a lot of schools are saying there's increased travel and some other things. Maybe what are some of the drawbacks that other ADs and other school districts are concerned about?
There's a couple of them, and the first one is travel, but that's just kind of inherent in how they set it up because they're choosing to set the districts up by enrollment first and geography second.
Right.
So obviously it's not going to be the best match for geography or
Sure.
for travel.
Great. And moving on, sticking with high school football, but keeping our eye on this year, we've got one area team still in the WIAA playoffs, and that's top-seeded Lodi in Division 4. Lodi beat Broadhead Judah 17-0 on Saturday, and that's their fourth shutout of the season. I think the thing that impresses me the most about it is the fact that they're shutting out opponents in Level 3 playoff games, which is just unreal. You could see doing that against maybe conference opponents that aren't as strong, but 17-0 shutout. They played great, and they'll be taking on Walworth Bigfoot this Saturday, and they also are a top seed in Division 4, and they were the state runner-ups last year. So it's going to be a big challenge for them. But when your defense is playing that well, that always gives you a chance. So, and that'll be a 1:00 game at Heartland Arrowhead. In the Badger North, we still have two teams alive with Waunakee in Division 2 and Reedsburg in Division 3. What are the chances, do you think, of two Badger North teams making it to Madison this year?
I think both schools have a good chance. Both schools have great opponents, though. Waunakee's playing Franklin, who was just down at Madison a couple years ago in a great game I remember, again, 2-3 years ago. So that program's got some tradition, and they're not going to be intimidated by the Waunakee name or that type of thing.
Right.
And I thought Waunakee's win last week against MD was extremely impressive. I didn't personally see Monona Grove, but I heard that they were a very good team.
Yeah, I heard the same thing.
So for them to win and had pretty much control of it by the sounds of it, in the fourth quarter. So again, that's a 50-50 chance maybe, but. And then Reedsburg has Catholic Memorial, which when you look at their record, they've got 3 losses, but that's deceiving. And they're playing a lot of Division I schools. They're playing with Heartland Arrowhead, who's still alive in the Division I tournament, and has been at Madison countless times. They play against the McWanagos, the Waukeshaws. So again, 3 losses in that conference, is nothing to diminish them.
Right. Yeah.
It certainly doesn't show that that's a team that shouldn't be here, because that's going to be a great game. But same thing with Reedsburg. They've been playing really well and putting up some big numbers on some teams.
Right.
Like most recent rounds of the playoffs.
Sure. And they lose their starting quarterback from last year's team, and here they are again. 1 win away from Camp Randall. So things didn't change too much for them apparently. So.
Yeah.
Well, Jim, thanks a lot for joining us today. I really appreciate it. And thanks a lot for tuning in. For Jim Langkamp, I'm Kevin Morales. We'll see you next time.